We head into week 11 of the NFL. Definitely a few surprises relative to the conversations we were having heading into the season. Jeff, let's check in to see which quarterback stock has risen the most since kickoff of week one. Welcome back to the BetCanada channel. I'm Katie Caldwell, joined by my friend Jeff Lloyd. Jeff, let's go with two each. So I'm going to let you start. Who has risen the most for you this season?
I don't know if this maybe seems obvious or not, but I think you have to weigh in situations. What
Okay.
Justin Herbert has been doing, you lost your stalwart left tackle, but we had a right tackle who was a left tackle. Well, we lost him. Then he came back. Then we lost him again for the season. We have been pretty much absent of a running game now for a few weeks.
I like this
I
one.
don't know how you can't really look at what Justin Herbert's doing right now and just be absolutely blown away.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly, it was put into place for him. Obviously, the McConkey's fantastic. Johnson's played, much better this year. Keenan Allen was a really, really, I don't know why Keenan Allen ever left in the first place, obviously,
Me
but it was
either.
a
He's
really,
such a good
really
fit
smart
there.
move to make sure you got him back, obviously. But I mean, how many times can you tell the tale that, lost both his left tackles, who were both great, but it was left
Mm-hmm.
tackle and right tackle, absence of a running game, and normally that story goes bad. And I think if you wanted something that was really going to stamp it out, it was this past Steelers game. It truly was.
Mm.
Everybody just figured everything lined up. Oh, great. Pittsburgh's going to get, Chargers, O-line issues, missing some guys, and not going to be able to run and Justin Herbert just went out there, and made a bunch of plays. The MVP battle this year is going to be insane,
It
in my
feels like
opinion,
15
because,
guys in the running and just the quarterbacks.
I mean, when you think about guys that could legitimately walk away with a first place vote, and you could probably say 7 quarterbacks, if not more, could probably
If
find a way
not
to
more.
snag a first place vote, and
Mhm.
it all kinda comes down to basically each week, where somebody is at.
Yeah.
But Justin Herbert for me has just been absolutely tremendous. We kinda thought this, he was going to be good. This was going to be a really good Charger team.
Mhm.
But I think it really exasperates what he's doing when you bring in some of the things that he's lost.
I really like that answer, and I don't know if that would have been an automatic one for a lot of people, but when you break it down that way, you're right. It's what he's doing with this team that he has right now. My first pick, which I feel like if I didn't pick him, you would have picked him. Not only because of how he's playing, but just because of how low his stock was heading into the season. I'm going Indiana Jones of our Indianapolis Colts, Jeff Lloyd. As I've mentioned on the show before, like I reflect on how we spoke about him in the offseason and that whole situation. I remember feeling sad for the Colts because it just didn't work out for Anthony Richardson. And he was such a big investment for that franchise. And then it feels like they're having to go with Daniel Jones seemingly out of desperation. Like it felt like worst case scenario for this team of yet again just kicking the can down the road for their quarterback. I remember the discourse of people calling him the worst starter in the NFL before the season began. And now it feels like there's a world where the Colts may have stumbled into their first franchise quarterback since Andrew Luck and completely on accident. Like this was a 1 year deal for 14 million. I love this for the Colts. I love this for Daniel Jones. I love this for Shane Steichen. And this to me feels like, because I almost said Sam Darnold for this exercise, but this feels like what happened with Sam Darnold last season, where we're going, oh my God, I can't believe how many guys gave up on him. And it just felt like he was kind of a running joke in the NFL. This situation really does speak to how NFL teams deal with quarterbacks and do give up on them so early. Like we've talked about Baker, Darnold, Mac Jones. So this is one of the true feel good stories of the year. And it's not just that the Colts are looking really good. Daniel Jones is a really, really big part of that. Who's your second one?
Well, I'm just gonna, just piggyback on that real quick. Obviously we've talked a million times, Colts losing their owner. This was gonna be a really difficult season. Could have lined
Yes.
up to be a really bad year just because, just change. And obviously
Mm.
not change because it was wanted, just change, obviously. Daniel Jones's people last offseason, I can tell you right now, Cleveland Browns were interested. Daniel Jones people, "Well, you're planning on drafting a quarterback. We're not coming." So Daniel Jones's camp was like, "No, we're gonna be all right." And like, so there were teams that turned away, like, "Well, you're Daniel Jones. Who are you to set the terms?"
Right.
Did now also you look at it from the Colts standpoint, you just traded away 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. You
Mm-hmm.
told everybody in the NFL, basically Daniel Jones is going to get the contract he wants. because we can't do anything. We can't draft a quarterback if we want to. We don't have the first round picks to do it. So you just cemented that in. And Daniel Jones, maybe in a smaller market like Indiana, look at that. Maybe it works a heck of a lot better. I will go with Baker Mayfield. And I
Okay.
think, again, this is also maybe where you try to factor in circumstances. Baker got there, obviously resurrected his career. Mike Evans was a huge part of it.
Mhm.
No Mike Evans. Then for about 3 weeks, for more than a month, one of the biggest other parts of this Tampa Bay offense, Bucky Irvin, was a guy sitting on the sidelines. Now, Baker has not been playing his best ball the last couple of weeks.
Mhm.
But for me, and covering the Cleveland Browns for as long as I have, and being there in 2018 when it all started with Baker Mayfield, it was very strange at a certain point towards the end of his time in Cleveland to not see this cocky, slightly arrogant
Mm.
Baker Mayfield type of guy. You
Yeah.
know, I like, it just seemed like he was kinda losing who he was, and that's
Mm.
kind of when you knew there was gonna be a change, and obviously, there was that whole year of, Baker, Carolina, Rams running all over the world, and then finally it settled into a place like Tampa, matured, father now, and again, a guy that just got himself into the right environment and better teammates, guys that he just vibed with better overall.
Mhm.
Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry did nothing for Baker Mayfield. But now here he is with a guy like Mike Evans, who's just a better overall type of guy, a better locker room type of presence. But now here is Baker without Mike Evans still playing well and
Mm.
carrying this team and become a leader of this team down in Tampa. It's maybe not where we thought Baker was, a couple of weeks ago. There was that, what, 3rd and 13, that magical, I think that Chris Berman rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, where he's knocking guys over, getting punched in the face, but
Yeah.
somehow, some way, he needed 13. He got 13 and 2 inches. And I think it's just to see Baker back to who he was, the ultimate competitor. He's probably more of a football player than he necessarily is a quarterback. He's just been really fun to watch mature. And
Mhm.
we talk now about this 2018 group, and at times it was a little murky, that 2018 class. But
For a while.
Baker, Sam, Lamar,
Mhm.
Josh Allen. I mean, these are legit dudes in this league right now carrying winning franchises,
Mhm.
really winning franchises. So it's been really nice for Baker just to watch this all to come together. And I think, and this was one of the things where it got weird in Cleveland when the times got tough. It seemed like, Baker just couldn't be the guy. But times are tough right now in Tampa, and an older, more wiser, kind of already been through the situation, Baker Mayfield is rising, not
Mhm.
necessarily shrinking in this type of scenario.
Yeah, I really like this one, and I've said this to you so many times, it's a joy watching Baker Mayfield play football, and that
Nobody
was
has more fun.
something that
Nobody has more fun playing ball than Baker
nobody has
Mayfield.
more fun, and it just feels like he just didn't do himself any favors to be a likable personality in the NFL, like, and then he's doing all these commercials and the play just wasn't there on the field, and I remember just the discourse around him was like, "Man, this guy's a bum, like, why did he get drafted so high?" And then
Commercial
to
being
see
locked out of the stadium. Like,
Yeah,
and the Browns fans
yeah.
really ran like, "Yeah, the Browns should lock him out."
Yeah, man, we've come a long way since Odell Beckham Sr. making video compilations of him never throwing his son the ball.
Sideways,
Yeah.
sideways.
For my second one, I'm gonna give an honorable mention here, to Mac Jones. It isn't my answer, but
100%.
I feel like Mac Jones, with the way he's been playing in Kyle Shanahan's system, and they've lost so many guys left and right, the way he's playing, I feel like he's played himself into a starting job next season.
He has absolutely become one of the biggest push
Yep.
button topics of the 2025 offseason, no
And I
question
do
about it.
love that for him. He's my honorable mention. My second answer is Drake May. So, what he showed us last season as a rookie was really, really impressive. But to me, the most impressive thing is the leap he's taken in year two. It's completely blown me away. Like, I look at his arm strength, his accuracy, his mobility, his pocket movement, ball placement. Like, he just looks so complete, very much in the MVP conversation to me. How he handles game management looks like he's like, especially like fourth quarter, it looks like he's been around so much longer than he has. My trust in him just continues to grow week by week. And when we talk about situations for these guys, it's not like he's doing it with a CeeDee Lamb and a George Pickens or a
Mhm.
Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins. I looked up PFF's rankings of receiver rooms heading into the season. New England was ranked 31 out of 32. So we weren't looking at this as like, wow, we've got so many pieces to play with. It's like,
Oh, sure.
yes, he does have Stephon Diggs, but as Jeff, you and I have talked about before, Stephon Diggs isn't the same player as he was 3, 4 years ago. But he's getting it done with guys like Demario Douglas and then Kayshon Boutte when he had him. Like, it's been such a fun story. And then we've talked about the Patriots so many times and then their spot within their division. And the Patriots are just such a fun, feel good story for me, which I never imagined after the Tom Brady era that I would ever be grateful that they're good again. But this just does feel so different and so removed from that old Patriot way. I'm loving this new Patriot way that we're seeing, and Drake May is such a big part of that. There is no sophomore slump here.
The thing that's kinda interesting about it is because it's a Mike Vrabel team, so you'd figure physical,
Mm,
running, and Drake May bombs away. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's become such an aggressive deep ball thrower,
yep.
so consistent. Because you knew if there was a mistake or 2, Vrabel, "Cut it, kid. Cut it. Hit the tight end
Yep.
underneath. We're gonna run the ball after." But he's got all the faith in the world in him. In Drake May in just year 2, and like you said, the wide receiver room is not wowing anybody. There's
No.
nothing about it, but in where you use such a huge phrase when it comes to quarterbacks is, are you elevating the talent around you? And
Mm,
with Drake May, that is absolutely one of the biggest comments you're gonna have. He is
yep.
making that offense better than it actually is.
Mm. We want to hear from you. Is there anyone we missed? So I feel Sam Darnold could be in this conversation, but I think that was more so last year. We really did see it all come together for him last year. But let us know in the comments if there's anyone you think stock has risen more than these guys. While you're there, hit that like button and subscribe.